to do is you get to veto. Like you might say, that makes sense, but no, I don't want to do this or I want to do that. So I want to start off and I want to say this to you that maybe you don't feel this way, maybe you do feel this way, but the more eye surgeries and eye procedures that a person has in their life, the more trauma that is in the eyes, and it complicates the healthy circulation and oxygenation and hydration that the eye needs. Now, that being said,
Yes.
you can always improve your vision no matter where you are. But
Yeah.
we can start with the LASIK surgery. First of all, in LASIK surgery, they're changing the prescription in the eyeball, but they're not changing the prescription which caused the eye to show that particular. And so it creates a split in the person. And so there's the mental prescription and then there's the eyeball prescription. Now the mental prescription tends to win over time. And so it creates a mismatch in the whole visual system. And the way I define the visual system is it's eyeball, optic nerve, optic pathways, and brain. So all of that is part of the visual system. It's not just the eyeball. In fact, 60 to 90% of vision is in the brain. It isn't in the eyeball exclusively. Now, in addition to that, I don't know if I heard you correctly, but whenever you correct one eye for distance and one eye for near, this is an additional confusion because the eyes are now working at different distances. And so you have to ignore one of the eyes to use the other eye. So if your right eye is distance, your left eye is near. So that's another overlay that you're juggling now. Okay, you're juggling two things.
Yeah.
Then you get
that accidentally.
whatever it is, accidentally
That
not that is a mistake that should not be made. I mean, that's not okay. But water under the bridge. The ptosis surgery, when you do ptosis, so the eyelid is the major lymph center of the eye, and it houses the glands to make the tears. And so, again, there's another thing you're dealing with. And then on top of that, when I looked at your pictures and I kind of read over what Pam does, there can be a underlying systemic reason why the retina has become weaker. Let me give you some ideas, okay? One idea is exposure to heavy metal toxicity. Another is pesticide exposure, especially if somebody lives in agricultural areas where they're spraying pesticides. A third one is being exposed to mold. So those three things on a systemic level can influence the retina. See, the retina is made up of about 50% fatty acids. It's a fatty tissue. And so when there is some interference in the retina's ability to absorb the nutrients, this is when you get things like maculopathies, and like in your case, it's affecting some of the deeper layers of the retina. And there, you're right, there is an imbalance in the fluid behind the retina. And this is where both glucose levels, if they're at all moderate or high, and or mold exposure, dairy, these are things that exacerbate these retina problems. again, you've got to check off the box mentally to say, no, I don't have mold. No, I'm not pesticides. No, you would need to know, those kinds of things. Even if all of that is going on, there's still some really positive things that I can offer you today. But I wanted to open the door of the conversation because any eye problem gives us a window into systemic and metabolic health. And unfortunately, in
Yeah.
medical eye care, they look at you as two eyeballs, two retinas. It's the classic model of fragmentation of the medical system. They're not looking at the integrative connection. That's why you've contacted me. For example, Chinese medicine has proven many of the meridians from the organs, the liver, the gallbladder, the spleen, the large intestine, the small intestine. They go to the eyes, specifically to the retina. Okay, so with all of those things that I've said to you, do you have a response before we move into, well, how can you fix this? If you like this video, hit the subscribe button and turn on your notifications. Please send your comments to me. I'd love to hear from you.